Welcome. You are here now in the Academy of Wow Men. And you are listening to Leon C., aka Morpheus. In this academy, I am the professor. I am the provider of the R pill. And I awaken the minds from the common, everyday, structured, programmed, and engineered lifestyle. I am what you will call different. And I am that individual who is truly an individual who have broken away from the wires in your infrastructure. In this lesson today, we're going to talk about something that we are all familiar with, and that is the relationship between man and woman and involving your parents, involving your family. Let's go down to memory lane, okay? And memory lane is going to be very valuable for us today. See, years ago, before the 2020s, family had a thing called morals. They had a thing called a functioning family. And they also had a respect for the future of children and a procurement of a proper mate, not based on the modern expectations, but based on the individualized expectation of the family and of the daughter who is involved in whoever that man, or in this case, younger man, might have been. And therefore, their involvement in some cases involved business excursions, building a franchise with this said man to bring that daughter up. Or maybe this young man, not yet a prince or a king, can bring some notoriety or prospects to that family. So it was a good trade-off for that daughter. It was a good exchange for if that daughter wedded a decent noble of a man, the reputation of that family will increase. Now, there's no need to continue down here in the history of this because it goes on and on and on, and we can add our personal opinions and talk about, again, trades and money and dowries and things of that nature. We don't need to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Just know that history is different than what we have today. Now, let's fast forward to, let's do that. Let's talk about today in the 2020s, plural. There's a problem with the expectation of the dating dynamic of women choosing a proper man for their future, proper man for their life. See, because it's no longer based on the simplicity of adding value to this man's life or supporting each other. And the evidence is the high divorce rates. The evidence is that most relationships don't last longer than 5 years today. And also the evidence is women file for divorce 80% of the time. So therefore, their expectation isn't about surviving in a relationship or supporting, such as helping this man with his infrastructure. Most individuals, and generally in this case, the modern day woman, is only looking for what is most comfortable, what will make her happy, and what will fulfill her vanities. And along the line with those vanities come her family. Now, it is said, and it is also evident, that families isn't the way it used to be. Most families are led by a single mother, or most families are led by a mother and a blue pill beta of a father, and a very overly zealous and overly confident brother, and a very jealous and broken sister of the girl who wants to be in a relationship. Now, when you have that as a foundation of what this man has to deal with, this newcomer, because what he wants is a wife, or he wants a girlfriend. And when he is encountering this girl, that is where he wants to be. That is his intentions. And of course, we know to donkey dunk, which is the very, very basic. Most times men aren't interested. Their whole joshed isn't to encounter the family. It isn't to deal with the stigma and the heavy judgment and the heavy stress that the families have to offer. It is indeed a package deal, but it's a package deal that he is not so excited to sign up for, ladies and gentlemen. Why would he be? He's there for the daughter. He's there for the girl. He's there for her bosom, for what she has to offer, for her youth, for her beauty, for her talents, for her ability to be a decent companion in his life, not the family. So we're going to take a walk. Let the professor here today, I'm going to teach you something, and I'm going to make something very clear, and I'm going to step on some toes in the process. There was a guy, once again, see, I do a lot of fact checking and correcting because I hear a lot of people on social media. And social media is very big. And what I mean is this. There's some people who have a heavy following. And if they have 1.5 million subscribers or 1.5 million views on a certain video, or if they are very popular, whatever that entails, if they speak a thing to the crowd of people who are listening, that means the 1.5 million is affected by what they say. And oftentimes, ladies and gentlemen, that can be wrong. But the 1.5 million may agree on something that is actually false. And it's never explained. It's never broken down to its basic science and structure, in which we're going to do today. So let me go ahead and get on to why I'm bringing this to you. See, a certain gentleman, they said that it is important when a woman wants to get involved with a man, that she allows her family to vet him out. She allows her family to evaluate him. And not only that, should this man mess up or become abusive or get out of line, she will have a support or a backup plan. Okay? Now let's go ahead and get on to the facts here. Fact number one is most, if not generally half of the population in America is already on some type of medications. They're already nuts, and they're already crazy and out of their mind. And women have been doing that since the beginning of time. They don't need to know that they need to evaluate these guys. They have a thing called it's like that song, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. Meaning, my friends my family, my mom, my dad, and my brother have to judge you first in order for me to be with you. I may like you, but if they like you, I'll like you even more. All right? Now let's get something correct. What did I just say? Half the people anyway are already out of their mind. Your sister, the sister of this girl who wants to be in a relationship, is going to be halfway jealous because women don't get along with women anyway. And the brother, being that he's the brother, most times brothers, it's not that they're jealous. They become overly protective. They become overly judgmental, and they can definitely get in the way of his sister being in a relationship because men know men. Yes, men know men, but these aren't alpha men. These aren't leader men. These are beta men. And this is what I mean. Sometimes men are just uneducated about themselves. Uh-oh, somebody. Are y'all listening to me? Oftentimes, not sometimes, oftentimes, the common man today don't understand the nature of himself. Why do I say this? Well, here's your facts. Once again, fact again. If 80% of the divorce is initiated by women, if men are constantly fleeced, if men are always coming up with this hope strategy that he will find a diamond of a female in the rough or a unicorn, clearly he haven't learned his lesson. Clearly they don't understand their own nature. And then you have a lot of men who are in a monogamous relationship, or a seemingly, because there's really no such thing as monogamous, even though they think they are. They are in a programmed monogamous relationship. They will indeed look at this other man as a predator and not as an equal or a friend. So immediately this brother or father or brothers is going to judge this man based on his sexual interest to be with the daughter, when it's only natural that he wants to donkey dunk with her. It's natural that he wants to mate with her. It is natural that he wants to take her either as his bride or his girlfriend. It is a very, very simple thing, ladies and gentlemen. But the brother will automatically misjudge this guy based on the guy's nature. He will immediately tell the girl or his sister, well, all he wants is donkey dunk. Well, no, duh. That's why the man's in the picture. Or he'll say, well, I know this guy because he may not treat you right, but he wants to hit the draws. Well, no, duh, sir. That's what men do. That doesn't mean you need to cock block him, and that doesn't mean you need to prevent her for at least living her life and experiencing anything for herself. As long as this guy is not abusive, as long as the new guy in her world isn't trying to hurt her, harm her, or take her out of town where she'll disappear, and all he wants to do is donkey dunk with the sister, or in this case the daughter, then why are you trying to get in the way? But again, the most dangerous person you can ever encounter, ladies and gentlemen, the dangerous person is a blue pill white knight soldier, which is a boy who don't understand his own nature and want to overly misjudge and miscalculate what he is dealing with. And all he wants to do is protect. All he wants to do is just go by his nature and not control his nature. So therefore, this brother and possibly the father himself, which we're going to talk about the father in a minute, will become a problem for his sister. He won't like what his sister is doing, and he's going to try one way or the other to jeopardize the relationship between her and her new boyfriend, and he's going to always have a heavily judgmental eye on him. And here we go. Unwarranted. We're going to get to this in a moment. Unwarranted. Keep that in your mind. Unwarranted. warranted. That's going to be a tab right here. Okay. And so the father pretty much is the same. The father is older than probably, of course, over his son and probably the guy friend who's most likely coming into his daughter's life. So then his overly protective essence come onto the scene as well. And here you go again. You have a grown blue pill white knight soldier who probably most likely lived a so-called monogamous life, going along with the new age programming that is one woman, one man sort of idea. And a lot of them, they would consider themselves as Christian or Baptist or Catholic or Muslim. The list keep going on. It just continues on. Okay. And so his instincts kick in as well, because there's two things that he wants for his daughter. He don't want his daughter to have donkey dunk. Okay. But he wants his daughter to succeed and to at least be with a successful man who's going to take care of his daughter. All right. Rule number one of life is you're not going to encounter, you're not going to be around, and you're not going to have the plethora of perfect people. People make mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. There is no perfect man and there is no perfect woman. So get over it. Put the stupid down and start picking up common sense. Oh, excuse me. I almost forgot. We don't have any common sense anymore today in the modern world. So put the stupid down and put up your thinking cap. Whatever 2 pennies you got up there in your head, start clicking them together. You don't have there's not going to be a perfect boyfriend or perfect girlfriend, but they're going to be at least okay. They're going to at least abide by the basics. So the filtering, here we go again. Ladies and gentlemen, what did I say? I gave you history on purpose. See, back in the 1960s, 50s, and a little bit earlier than that, was a different time than today, being the 2020s, where more women are working in certain areas than men. More women being in college, more women have decided to take on their PhDs and be the boss babe and all these sort of so-called liberation activities. Okay. So in this particular case, there is many women who make more money and they have more opportunities and more franchisement and more doors open than the average man. Therefore, when you do this mathematics, sir, father, daddy, father of the daughter, it is going to be a good probability that she's going to encounter many men who don't make as much money a year like her, who don't have degrees like she do, and she may just make more money than her counterpart boyfriend that is interested in her. So in the old days, because men were the breadwinners, because it wasn't a patriarchal as you think it is, so we're not going to go to that realm and we're not going to talk about that, but because men were capable of having these possibilities to provide for the family, and women sit at home and stay beautiful, which was dumb for them to leave the house to want to suffer, grow old alone with cat food and stressed out, which goes past my recognition, but we'll talk about that at a different time. But because she wanted to leave the house and make her own bread and butter, caused an imbalance. But anyhow, then during those days in the past, yes, you're going to find a man or a husband or a boy who's going to be the provider. He would have a job, and being a blue collar and a white collar was good enough. Bringing home the bacon, as long as you brought home the bacon, was good enough. He could go out there and be a lumberjack. He can go out there and be a truck driver. He can go out there and be a nurse or a receptionist, or get into engineering, or be a pilot, or just several things of that ilk and that profession. And the woman would be satisfied. The father would be satisfied, because it was enough to put food on the table where the father would not have to worry about his daughters suffering or needing money. But as time has gone on, again, that's why I'm giving you the past and the present. In the present, it's no longer like that anymore, because women have a unrealistic expectation where they want more than the blue collar. They want the top percentages of the white collar men who are already in the millionaire bracket, or the thousandaire bracket, however else you want to go that route, okay? 6 digits. And therefore, a lot of men aren't going to be compatible for this daughter's lust for vanity. A lot of men aren't going to be able to tackle her false expectations, her unsimple, unrealistic tier that she herself, as a non-traditional modern girl, will ever comply with, because most of them don't want to cook, they don't clean, they don't take care of the home and all that. You know, the Cardi B's of the world and the common world. So therefore, she wants men. Here it is. This is what I'm trying to say with this, okay? The common woman have continued to move the goalposts and make things a little bit more complicated than what it really was and what it really need to be. So therefore, the men that will come along in her life, he may not be a 6-digit guy. He may not be a millionaire, but he could be a very good, decent guy. He can be the provider with whatever means and modesties that he have, and he can be the protector and the lover in her life that she would need, but she's not going to go for what she needs. She's simply, because of the way the westernized world is programmed now, she's simply going to go for what she wants, not for what she needs. Because as a little girl, she's been going for what she wants and not for what she needs, because she's been getting and she's been given without a price everything that she's ever wanted. And that is the cold-hearted facts. So therefore, the father having an unrealistic high expectation is really null and void and rather stupid at this particular point, because that means he don't know anything about history. But however, if this father is a blue pill white knight beta, it's going to be, and it's going to present a problem, and this woman's going to always remain single, and she's going to have a struggle with her dating life because she doesn't realize she have unrealistic high expectation, which indeed is supported by her beta father, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, let's move forward with something else. We already know that this is a realistic struggle. Now, let me show you the bad end of it. Like when this social media influencer said that this man will have something to worry about if he gets out of line, meaning he have to deal with his family. I have seen for myself, and I already told you already, that you are judged before you even get a chance to prove that you are a decent man when you're dealing with the common day woman, when she decides to have her family to judge you or to analyze you. Okay? And so what ends up happening is the family takes her side regardless of the situation, but yet she is I'll put it like this for the sake of what we all understand, not to point my finger at anybody, but she could be the devil. She could be the one ranking up actually she will, generally. I've seen this happen because the door's open. If it's an option, she's going to use it. Anyway, she will be the one starting the fights. She'd be the one threatening him to do bad things to him should he step out of line. She'll be the one to threaten him with Big Brother and Daddy and the evil Ursula mother if he steps out of line, and that gives her the validity and a little more boldness to get in his face. Listen, that will give her, and it does, give her more confidence to test this man's masculinity. to get in this man's face and say that she's the boss babe, and should he get out of line, either she'll walk away or she'll just to her brother, and her brother come around the corner and exact the act of maybe verbal violence or maybe physical violence should things get awry. See, she already has the state that backs her up with her false allegations. She already has the entire society or the entire neighborhood that wants to be the white knight and protector because she's this, again, woman and child first ordeal. And then on top of that, you have a family who's already on top of this guy, looking at him as if he's a criminal, and he's not even a criminal. All he wants to do is get him some donkey dunk. He wants to get him some pancakes and muffins, and he can't get that. I mean, he can, but he can't get that without dealing with so much of an unrealistic chain of command that she have put before him. See, the struggle is real out here in the modern day, and we don't understand, or the common person, especially these social media influencers, that we're making it harder for men than necessary. I'm saying that, listen, I am battling for men in this audio right now. I'm telling you from the man's standpoint of view. Men already got to deal with every day. They're already stressed out as it is. Men gotta be the best version of themselves. They're already kicked around. Men are already worried about their own finances, worried about their life, and nobody really cares about when a man is struggling. When a man cries, nobody cares if a man cries. Men have to cry at home when nobody's looking. Men have to go in their office and open up a container of brandy and cry over his rim, the rim of the brandy cup. Men have to blast their radio, their rap music, their rock and roll, or their country, smoke a stogie or something, open up his blinds when nobody is there to relinquish how he really feels, because nobody really cares about how he feels. So he has to concern himself about how he feels. So when he's listen carefully, shut your mouth and listen. There is nothing more that makes me angrier than people who overlook the struggles of men. Nothing. This guy have to carry enough labor on his shoulder just to survive the modern world. Why the hell do you think this man want to get with a modern woman with not only an unrealistic expectation, but everybody considers him to be a criminal before he is even proven innocent? And all he wants to do is be his normal self. Men want to donkey dunk. Men like beautiful things. Men want a girlfriend. And they don't mind being, if it was available, having a wife. But it's a bad idea in a country, in a state, and especially in this modern time, where it's not going to be beneficial for him when he's able to see with all open eyes in 2020 hindsight that men of all stature and status is being fleeced by the modern woman. Why would he want to put himself in that position? So he's already concerned about what's happening tomorrow. And then you have a father who wants to scrutinize him, and a brother who's going to take his sister's side no matter how ratchet and evil that she is. Because check this out. If she was unworthy to be in a relationship, the guy would automatically know. And therefore, if the brother know that his sister is ratchet and can't be in a relationship, the brother's not going to be so interested in protecting her or trying to stand up for her, because he already know that she makes bad decisions and she needs to deal with her consequences. So the man ain't going to be with her either. The man's going to see the same thing that her brother see, and they both going to walk away from her, if that were the case. But usually this man is interested in the daughter or the sister because she has some type of quality. And when that happens, because she has quality, the brother's going to try to be defensive. The brother is going to try to defend her and try to stand up for her because there's quality there. And then here comes the conflict. And here comes the I see you and I got my eyes on you on every step that you take. What man want to deal with that? You got to be out of your mind. And in the modern day today, I hate to say it, but it's the reality, whether you want to accept it or not. The modern day woman isn't even worth that type of struggle. She's not even worth that type of scrutiny. She's not worth that. What do you call that? There's the courtship. She's not worth the time that it takes to get a chance to know her because I'm going to go ahead and skip this part right here because you need to go back to my earlier audios and just go back. Before you put something dumb down there in the comment box, I'm going to call you stupid right now. Because you have information on this particular thing I was getting ready to say. Just go back to your studies. She's not worth it. She's not the modern day woman isn't what they used to be. They're not made like they used to. It's almost like sometimes we talk about the automobiles where they're made sturdy and strong, where the engine lasts a little bit more than 300,000 miles and things were a lot more of quality, and you go to the store, you buy a jug of orange juice and it's bigger, price is lower. But today it's not like that. It's almost like you get a little pint of orange juice, but they want to charge you even more than what the orange juice it's more than what it's worth with the over unnecessary inflation. So, and lower quality of orange juice, more watered down. So you're not getting what you used to. So why would you put more work into something that you're getting less out of? Or am I speaking French or Chinese, or you just don't damn understand what I'm saying? So therefore, this is why you have a culture today, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is it a pump and dump culture, or time that we are living in, this is why relationships aren't interesting anymore. This is why people would rather stay single. This is why most men aren't interested in marriage and they don't want to be a committed dude because there's nothing to be committed to. And here we are. There may be something to be committed to. There is unicorns. There are some good ones out here in the manosphere, in the atmosphere. But again, men have to do more work than necessary to procure her. Let me give you an example. I always give you examples. Years ago, mommy and daddy used to raise up their daughters to prepare them to be a wife. They used to raise up their daughters in the kitchen, in the dining room, in the front room. That's not saying that that's her limit of talent and ability. No, it was a part of living. It was a part of knowing and adding value to this man's life. Sometimes the dad would even teach his daughter how to change the oil. If she was the only child, she'd be a tomboy, but she'd know something. And not only that, she know how to change the oil, and she know how to change the oil in the kitchen, in your frying pan, and take care of things that are going on in the house. So they was raised to add some type of value to whatever noble that was available. See, I look at this as a form of respect. Here, listen, it's a form of respect for the common man. See, when there are noble men in the old days in your town, city, and country, the fathers and mothers knew that they needed to prep their daughter because they wanted this daughter to be good enough for the noble to marry or to pursue. And therefore, it made value to the family, or it brought the family up, or it gave them prestige. And they respected this noble or this man. And that went on for a long time. Now, because the common man is not valuable, listen. Now, because the common man isn't respected enough. Now, because, what I just say, nobody cares about what men want. Nobody cares about the future of men. Nobody cares about what men desire. The blue pill fathers and the redundant mothers aren't even interested in teaching nor preparing their daughter to do the daily tasks that will be required enough to have a man to at least keep her around longer than a donkey dunk. See, the girls are only getting donkey dunk. They're only getting the D is because that's the only thing that the father and the mother prepared her to be. Oh my God, somebody need to take a blunt on this one. Oh, holy. Oh, I know that punched somebody in the stomach. Let me say that again, because that was too real. That was too real, too straightforward. Let me say it again so it can sink in. The mothers and the fathers aren't preparing the daughters to be wives or to be worthy enough companions to stick around long enough, so when they don't do that, they are preparing their daughters just to be pump and dump material, and they wonder why their daughter not only make bad decisions, but their daughter is not married even today. So in other words, because the low quality and the low frequency of value, instead of them looking for the preparation of their daughter so their daughters can succeed, they let their daughters become miniature Cardi B's, miniature Nicki Minaj's, miniature used to be, what's her name? I can't even think about her crazy name. I ain't even going to go there. Miniature Little Kims. Little rappers. Little ratchets. Little I am entitled girls. Little meet me outside. That's what's up. Meet me outside. With my 119 pound self. Meet me outside. Girls. And you and the fathers and mothers should wonder, but here it is, they don't even wonder why this low quality sort of functioning of their life is happening when they are the general source and responsible one of it. Let me tell you what I get from most parents. Let me tell you what I get after this. After these sort of conversations that I'm having with you, and when I bring this up to some parents when they tell me that their daughters are wilding out at the age of 13 and 14, when their daughters is running the streets at the age of 16 and 17, when their daughter is pregnant by the age of 18 and 19, let me tell you what I get from the common American parent. Okay, this is why, and this is the classic sloth that's not allowed in my academy. This is the common sloth that I am disgusted of, and it makes me sick. It gives me diarrhea every time I think about it. They will say, well, my daughter isn't going to listen to me anyway. I tried to tell her till my face is blue, but she don't listen. I've done my very best, but she don't listen. It's difficult raising a child. They just don't listen. Moment of silence. I'm going to take a drink on this one. I'm going to tell you this whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell you this whether you like it or not. Okay? You'll be surprised that as an alpha, I'm going to be honest with you. When I have conversations with people, they want to fight me. No, I'm telling you, no, really. I'm being straight honest with you. I've always have. Listen, they want to fight me because I'm always straightforward. And I tell them like it is. And I stand there with my hands in my pocket, looking at them in their face. And wait for them to jump. Wait. Just wait. Because I really don't give a care about the consequences when I tell somebody the truth. Either you accept it or not. If you don't like it, too bad. Walk away and tuck your little tail between your legs, because I don't need to flinch for you. The mothers and fathers of this generation today shouldn't be having kids. Why the hell are you going to have a child that you don't know how to raise, nor you can control? If they are in your house and you are the guardian of your parents, the guardian, I guess you could say that because the kids do run parents today, but you are the guardian of your children, you don't need to be having them. Go ahead and put them from adoption or let somebody else raise them right, because you are a passive, lying, redundant, ridiculous, sloth-ass retard. Yeah, I said it. Yes, I said it. You can't come to my face telling me that, oh, they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen to me. I've been trying to talk to them. Then why are you wasting your time then? Here it is. This is why I say it. Let me go ahead and educate you for a second here. There is services in place. There's counseling in place. There's doctors. There are professors. There are professionals in your towns, in your cities, in your societies. There's institutions for your children should they not want to listen to you. In your house, it should not be, I'm making suggestions. Y'all too busy trying to give your kids suggestions. Your daughters suggestions, and you're the parent. Why are you giving your children suggestions? It is either is or it isn't, because it's your house. You should always be in my house. This is what we do. This is how I'm running my home. This is my rules. Since I'm paying the bills, I brought you here when you was still swaddled in human fluids. When your umbilical cord was there, I cut your umbilical cord. I heard your first cry. As a matter of fact, little girl, you are of my genes and my genetics. That blood that's running through your vein came from me. So in my goddamn house, you're going to do what the hell I tell you to do. If you don't want to do it, there's a place for you. You're not going to act like you're an adult in my house. Too many of you are too soft, where you let your children become the parents. They are the guardians, like I just said. You talking about you can't tell them nothing. If you can't tell them nothing, they're a broken car. You know what you do to a broken car? It's out of commission. When a truck breaks down, it is out of commission. When there are machines in a warehouse and it breaks down, you know what they do to it? They put a lockout tag on it and they say this is out of commission until service. You bozos let broken children, broken energy, broken lives in your house because you're broken yourself. Oh God. Oh God. Because you're broken yourself. Here it is. You're broken. You create a broken child and you have a broken family, and you think you're going to have success out of your broken ass. Dumb. Completely out of your mind. You allow this stuff in your own home that you're paying bills for, that you probably get up and do a 9 to 5 for. You raised your child. You named your child, and you trying to tell me that you can't tell your child nothing. You know what? I'm coming at you, not your child. When I look at the child, I'm looking at an embodiment of you. You are the passive weakling, and you are excuse for everything that you say. We are to raise up a child in the way that they should go. It is not the opposite direction. It is not the reverse. It's not the cart before the horse. The child should not raise the parent in the way that the modern day should go. You're supposed to know something that that child do not know. You are supposed to hold on to morals and values that can give that child substance in their future. And then you have the dumb enough initiative, the false thinking, and the sick mentality to be worried and upset that your child has a disturbed, obscured future when you did nothing to procure it with the knowledge and the information you could have passed down and the authority. Sometimes when people don't listen, you got to lean on your authority. That's your problem right there. Well, I want my child to have free will. I want them to think for themselves, and I want them to make choices of their own. Oh, really? Oh, how's that working out for you, America? How's that working out? How's that working out when you have 100 or so teenagers at the mall that the police officers have to escort? How's that working out for you? How's that working out for you when a 16-year-old boy can drive in a car and run down the highway on a high-speed cop chase at 116 miles per hour and almost get shot by the police? How's that working out for you? How's that working out for you when a police officer have to body slam a 15-year-old girl because she want to get in his face and cause threats? Oh, you're a genius, aren't you, America? You're smart. You're smart here. Now, how's that working out for your free will, sir? You're a good father, aren't you? How's that working out for you when these two black girls are standing outside the house and one of them's getting ready to stab the other one with something and the police officer have to intervene? Is that how you raised your girls? Oh, really? Oh, my God. I guess Morpheus is a dummy, huh? I guess I'm the stupid one here. I'm sorry. You win. You win. Yeah, you're right. Free will. Okay, yeah. Let me go ahead and let a small human being that don't know anything about the rules and regulations of a society raise itself. That's pure PhD genius there. How's that working out for you? Keep going. We're going to keep the police officers in full business and the court system on full throttle. Keep it going. That's okay. We love dummies because dummies keep the infrastructure running. We love the hair from sheep. Keep playing with me. Keep on playing with me. This is not Atari and this ain't PlayStation over here. I'm dead serious. Sometimes you're too damn stupid. You have all the opportunities. You have systems. You have programs. You got teachers who really care, some of them. You got counselors who really care, some of them. Even some people in your neighborhood. And some friends and families who really care, but y'all live this I'm on my own island lifestyle. It's my truth. I can care less about anybody say because nobody cares. No, y'all don't respect the future, and you definitely don't respect men. The whole root of the issue is preparation. The whole root is preparation. If you know that this 5-year-old little girl is eventually going to be 15 and eventually going to be 25 and eventually going to be 35. You should be looking at this 10 years in advance. Or in this case, 15. But no. And then you say, I can't say that to them. They don't want to listen to me. Well, if they don't listen to you, lock your dumb doors. Are you too stupid to do that? Put their stuff outside and say, okay, go ahead. You want to be an adult? Go get your own place. Go get an apartment. Go get you a 9-to-5 job if you can. Go get you a fast food job. You're not going to act like an adult in my house because here I'm going to raise you correctly, whether you like it or not. So I have no guilty conscience. I'm not going to be responsible for you and your bad decisions because guess what, mom and dad? You do become responsible. Let me give you some more examples. Let me give you some statistical facts here since we want to play stupid today. Some countries are very, very slow. And some of the major ones, they have a thing called the red, white, and blue with faded stars on it, which no longer shines anymore. It's blacked out flag. Okay? And why do I say this? Because children are actually leaving the home later and later in their life. Some of them aren't even becoming an adult until they're in their late 20s. And especially the girls. The girls are still living in their parents' house at the age of 25, 26 years old. They still got their, listen, they still got their daughter's room. She still have her own room in her own parents' house at the age of 25. Now, this is what I will agree with. I love it when families come together because that's what I care about. Being a family unit, if that's the case, if y'all just want to be with each other, live in the same home, and what do you call that? Evolve together. I get that. In some countries they do that. You know, if that's the case, but we're not unified like that in the westernized world. That's not the reality. The reality of it is they're growing up a lot slow. They're not prepared for the real world, and they're not prepared to go out there and deal with adult responsibilities. Because why? Because they're too slowed down. They're too, and you know what retarded means? Retarded means you're just slowed down. You're restricted of moving forward at a faster pace. That just means something's in your way. That's why I always use the word retard. Retard does not affiliate itself with handicap. Let's get that straight. You heard it from the professor. It does not affiliate itself with that. People just say that to be rude, evil, and mean. Over in this academy, that's not why I use it. I use retard as there's a retardant. Something that slows you down. Something that is preventing you of momentum. Do you understand? So when I say retarded activity, that's what I mean. When you act like a retard, you're acting like a retard. That means you're slow. That means you are the family of a sloth. You are affiliated with the sloth, which is even slower than slow. Okay? So we do that to our own children, and therefore their future becomes the same. They get married late. Well, sometimes they never really get married either, because by the age of 32 and 40, they're old maid, and the list goes on. Then you got boys who aren't really man enough to handle the real world. They still got a childish mindset and want to play Call of Duty instead of being productive in the society as a well mature citizen, because the parents retard them. But it is statistically as a fact too that when you have a single mother, if it's a single mother and the father's not there, the children stay at the home even longer because there's nobody there to prune them and to mold them. So the girl will be well into her 30s or 31 and 29 years old, still living in her mommy's house. Yeah, mommy. Mommy, hey mommy. I need mommy. Because there's no masculine energy around, or no interest of trying to depend on anybody else. Because mommy, see, the mother's going to always want to comfort, and they're always going to want to soothe on a general basis. There's exceptions to the rules. I've seen the mean Ursulas plenty of times. Now, I know that there's mothers who just don't care. You're going to get out and get a job at the age of 17, and I don't care. You're going to find you a place to go, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you could be, there should be a fine line. And I speak to a lot of people, and I teach them what the fine line is. There's a bridge between being overly comforting to your child and being evil to your child. There's a balance there. In that balance, it's going to involve having a father figure. There are men who is the masculine, someone is the feminine, someone is the go, someone is the not go, someone is the horse, and another person is the cart. So you have a balance there. That's where the bridge is. But oftentimes, if there's a single mom, it's either going to be she's evil and she wants to just kick her out at the age of 16 and tell her to get 2 jobs so she can support her. Uh-oh. I got an audio about that too. Should I tell you what it is? No. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and do it. That audio, ladies and gentlemen, is called, let's see what it is. It's Children Do Not Stand a Chance. Yeah, it's somewhere around there. The title is Children Do Not Stand a Chance. And then there was another one I made after that one. They should be back to back. But when I was talking about that, I was talking about what mothers do with children, and they need to depend on them to pay their bills. So they will want their 16-year-old daughter or 17-year-old son to go out there and get a good job so they can bring that money home to her. So she can not only take the alimony, not only take child support, but she can also depend on her children to pay for her bills while she sit at home and paint her fingernails. Okay, that's just that's reality, whether you want to accept it or not. And then, of course, you got the ones who are already doing their own thing, and they have a different lifestyle, and they want that child to be there as long as possible. They want their child to become even more softer and non-independent. And so it becomes a very terrible situation. Then, of course, the child is raised up to be a menace to society, and not really respecting authority because there's no authority figure at home. The mom was the authority figure, but she's not like a man. There's nothing like a masculine figure there. Some testosterone that'll balance things out. That's just reality, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you notice when I speak about other subjects as well, which seem to be off topic, but it is the same topic. And I do that because there are plenty of people who will come onto the scene and say, well, there's an exception to the rule. What about this, Mr. Morpheus? What about that, Mr. Morpheus? And what about this? So I try to cover every ground that your mind may venture to. I try to cover every possibility, so therefore the subject have more validation and you can get the meaning of what I'm talking about. So getting back to the main topic, am I saying that families should not get involved in the daughter's mating rituals, mating strategies? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is oftentimes it's a bad idea when your family isn't well put together. The average family today isn't so well put together to judge this man when they can otherwise be a problem for the situation. They can be a hindrance to this relationship with the daughter and this new boyfriend. So if it's going to be where they are, it's like this. If the family is going to be judgmental, it should be either up to the daughter or to the family themselves to set back a little bit, to decelerate their aggression towards this man and let them be together, or let them understand each other on their own cycle. Because again, it's a woman thing. Sometimes women don't have a bridge in between. They're either going to be red or they're going to be in the blue. So they'll say, I don't involve myself in my daughter's relationships, period, at zero, or they become overly involved and destroy the relationship. So either one can be a problem. It takes logic to build the median or the balance. That means you only involve yourself if you have to. That means you give advice. You will support, but not to the point where it's going to break the relationship. You'll motivate her, or you will warn her, whatever situation it may be, but it's not going to destroy the man's image. It's not going to destroy his motivation or mislead her, where it's going to cause a ruckish for her to miss out on a good opportunity of a good man based on the mom's opinion. Because oftentimes it's just opinion. It's an opinion of the father, it's an opinion of the brother, and it's an opinion of the mother. And so this man who's already fighting the bears and the wolves and the lions got to fight the family as well. Then you have America. I mean, you got the modern day today. You have the modern world where men are like, you know what, F that. Hell, nah, man, you know what, I'm gonna give you a L. You're gonna be like, I ain't about to deal with this. I'm not about to deal with this. I'm just gonna meet her in the club. Listen, y'all think I'm joking. I'm just gonna meet her in the club, and we're gonna hook up, maybe, possibly. We're gonna smash, and I'm gonna dash. There ain't no, oh, you want to come meet my parents? Hell no. Nah, I'm good. Because he already know what he's going to deal with. Nah, I'm good. Hey, my father's an architect. You want to come meet my father? I'm going to meet up with him at a barbecue next week. And he said he wants to meet you. Nah, I'm good. Maybe. I might be there. I don't know. I'm not so sure. And there's cases where the father might be cool, like, oh man, young man, hey, how you doing, young man? What's up? Oh, come on over here, sit down. What's going on with your day? Don't ask him about no crazy, wild stuff. Just be, hey, what's cool? What's good? That's your car over there? Oh, what you do to it? What kind of engine it got in it? What you do for fun? Oh, okay, that's good. That's cool. My daughter ain't driving you up the wall, is she? Because, sometimes she drives me up the wall. Just keep the relationship cool and cordial. Maybe the dude to stay around. Maybe he'd be like, your dad is all right. Your dad, he's cool. He didn't, drag me around everywhere, make things difficult. And the daughter would be like, oh, okay, because I was kind of worried that he might scare you off. And there you go, a little balance, a little medium. But if you're sitting there talking about, where you work at, what do you do for a living, what did you do when you was 19 years old, and do you smoke, you do drugs? Now, what do you want with my daughter? What's your intentions? Well, duh, dude. What do you think my intentions is? I'm a boy, she's a girl. What the hell you think? I'm a space alien and I don't have no genitals? Are you stupid? Yeah, you stupid. Don't make it hard for me. Aren't you a man? What do you think a man wants? Well, I'm just standing here for my health and just for fun? Dude, are you stupid? Why are you questioning me like this? What's your plan for the future? Well, what the hell you think? If anything, you need to be, listen, let me make something clear to y'all. Let me make something clear, because you're in the academy here and my job is to teach you something. Let me teach you something. Instead of the father sitting here scrutinizing and judging this man, he should have no doubt and he should have full confidence if he already prepared his daughter to add value to this man's life. Let me tell you something about a bum. Let me tell you something. Oh, a bum and a woman, for example. Okay. The average bum, if he meet the right woman who's adding value in his life and she has such an energy, women can motivate a man to get up and walk again. Do you understand? He can be y'all. Oh my God, wait a minute. Wait. Let me put it like this. Her loving can be so good. If she's prepared like she's supposed to be as a decent woman, and she can add value in his life, and she's an asset, and she is supporting this man. A blind man can see again. Do you understand? Sometimes men want just a decent woman. Maybe sometimes that's going to be their kicker to tilt the scale instead of dealing with ratchet, raggedy, redundant women who there's no future. Like, I can't get married because there's nothing to be married to or deal. But if this woman is adding value to this man's life, if he never walked in his entire life, he will learn how to walk. You know what? He will fight to walk again so he can walk next to her down the aisle. He will work hard enough to keep this woman. He will do what is necessary. If he's working 8 hours a day, he's going to work 10 hours a day to make sure that he keeps this woman and to keep her satisfied. So you don't have to tell a man how to be a man. He's going to do it no matter what. Remember the story of Adam and Eve, even though I don't stand by it, nor do I expect it to be anything significant to truth. But it's a good example here. When God looked at Adam and said, Adam, I noticed that you are alone and you need someone. So let me make Eve out of your rib to support you and duh. Adam ain't going to do it by himself. He'd be like, I got this whole garden and yeah, I'm unmotivated. Yeah, whatever. I like the trees and I'm rich and I got all this. But, it's missing something. But when you add that flavor and that juice and that, I ain't going to go there. I'm not going to go. It'll do something to a normal man. If anything, the father should and the mother should have already prepped and prepared their daughter to be of asset, to be of quality. Therefore, you don't need to question what this man is going to do. He's going to get right regardless if he's the right type of man. And you can't really judge nor have a clear trajectory of the future anyway. Sometimes you got to play by ear. Sometimes you have to keep growing day to day and be ambitious to do the best you can do. So therefore, he shouldn't be underneath the mallet and the judgment table. It should be her to make sure that she's in the proper position to give this man the validity and the motivation to move forward. Because generally, that's where we have escaped, and that's where the Western world have failed, by not holding daughters and girls accountable of bringing something to the table besides their ass. Now let's be real here. I know we're not perfect people and parents make mistakes. So I'm not sitting here pointing my finger and stepping on anybody. That's not what I'm saying, and that's not what I have ever done. Because I know sometimes it's hard. I get it. I've spoken about, hey, listen, I got a lot of audios down there that pretty much proves my claim. Okay, so it's not about hating anyone and not understanding that you have your struggles and you're not perfect people. Things happen sometimes, okay? But things just don't happen all the time, which I'll also teach, that things just don't happen, but even though things do happen, okay? But in this dynamic that we have in the modern world is because we never looked at the future. We don't respect the future. We don't respect looking at things ahead of time while we are enjoying those negative fruits today, because we're not smart enough to do that, because we're too worried about our smartphone and our dumb lifestyle. I'm going to tell it like it is. So if you want a future, we need to start respecting men and what men want. Respecting what listen, it's like this. Respect that a man wants something to not only look forward to, but to have something to keep. Let me say that again. Respect what a average man look forward to and expect to keep as well. If we are creating a future where men have nothing to look forward to out of the modern woman, and he has nothing to keep out of the modern woman, what type of future are you trying to create? We're so full of PhDs and degrees and master's degrees, we too stupid when it comes to our own human nature. And because we are just fragile humans, that means we need to hold ourselves to a higher regard and be more accurately focused on what we need to procure a better future outside of technology, but more into our human psychology. And until we understand that, we will never get to the place where we need to be in advancement. We're going to stay stupid because we're not looking at it from its realist. It's more functional, more realistic, and more accurate, natural view. Because we want to come up with made up, man-made concepts of what we want the society to be, which is socially engineering, which isn't going to adhere to nature. It's not going to adhere to true science. It's not going to change the dynamic between man and woman. It's not going to make the future better. It's going to distort it because it's been natural for years. Men and women need a proper natural dynamic between each other that don't need the modifications of the modern day technology in hands of the common fragile human being, because it's been working for billions of years now without the intervention of human beings. So until we understand that there is no future between man and woman, we need to get back to what's natural. I didn't say normal. What's normal is stupidity. What's normal is our ignorance of our nature. What's normal is our ignorance of what's coming tomorrow. What's natural is what is our own genetics, our own potential, and what should be based on our natural genetics and potential and our energies. If you know the future is going to come, you got to be a dummy not to know that. When that future comes, you need to be able to be prepared to reap the benefits and the fruits of your current labor. So therefore, we don't have to have the mediation and the moderation of counselors and marriage, divorce, and all type of issues that we have now around the world if you prepare these kids at an earlier age, but we just too damn stupid. And then we want to cry about it later on. You can consider yourself, I don't even know how you can consider yourself to be a decent parent or to be respected or to even concern yourself with what happens after your children after a certain age when you prepared it to be what it is. So therefore, once again, I think we need to understand that sometimes the involvement of the family can be a bad thing, especially if y'all mind ain't in the right place. Sometimes you got to let nature be and let them evolve on their own if you're not capable of doing so yourself. But if you do, you're going to have to learn as they are learning and learn how to just touch and go gently to let nature evolve on its own.